Hello YouTubers, this is cessnaace back again with another video, an unpacking video. Today I received two packages, one from AtariAge and one from a seller on eBay. First things first though, I need to thank Lord Maxon for a comment that he made to a video where I showed my collection of McElligott cartridges for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I had two different theories as to what this dip switch on the back is for. Turns out my first theory was the correct one. A means to bypass the NES lockout chip. In fact, if I remember correctly the way he put it, it temporarily shorts out the lockout chip. Although, he also reminded me that the first batch of Nintendo Entertainment System consoles did not even have a lockout chip, which is what the B position is for. And while he didn't clarify it, I'm still convinced that the top loader, the Model 2, which I have a working Model 2, doesn't have the lockout chip either. Metaphors be with you. That didn't do anything. How about that? Okay. Started to pick up the package from AtariAge, which is the first one I'm going to get to. But first I want to thank Michael of Good Deal Games again, because I returned to the Good Deal Games site and I noticed that the manual for Clyde's Revenge is listed as a downloadable manual, but he thoughtfully printed out a manual for me, which I appreciate, because currently he had no way of knowing this. I don't think I've mentioned it to him. Our printer is down. Alrighty. First up, the box from AtariAge. Plenty of shipping corn. Little piece of hardware that I ordered, yes, because I got the last one in stock. Of course, I assumed it'll get more in stock. Oh, I wanted you to know it. Something fell into the trash can. And my ordered piece of hardware fell on the floor. Okay. So the box is now empty. First up, I will show you Okay, this isn't working very well. It's raining. This is turning out really well, isn't it? Boxed edition. This is a homebrew. Now, my supporters at Patreon/cessnaace, link down below. I have tape sticking to me. I'll already know what this is because I give them a heads up on everything I order. This is a homebrew port of the arcade game Fodder for the 7800. Froggy. For 1 or 2 players. Now, one of the really cool things about this game is that you can play it as you normally would, with the screen oriented that way, or you can play it vertically, like that. I assume it moves the score and everything down below when it reorientates the screen, but I don't know because I haven't actually played it, obviously. And as I've stated before, I am terrible at Frogger style games, but I'll give it a go. Copyright 2016. Okay, next up, this is a homebrew. No, it's not a homebrew. I am doing really well tonight, you know. This is a custom reproduction of a cartridge that's really rare. Now, one of the custom reproductions that I've shown before was an authorized, legitimate hack of Space Invaders commissioned by Coca-Cola called Pepsi Invaders, also known as Coke Wins. They weren't the only company to do that, however. Ross and Perina also did it with a game called Chase the Chuck Wagon. And, well, they didn't use Atari, they used SpectraVision or SpectraVideo, whatever. This game was commissioned by Johnson & Johnson, makers of toothpaste, for one thing. Tooth protectors. This is a shooter. I've played it via emulation before. An authentic cartridge has a rarity rating at AtariAge of R9, the highest rating being an R10, the most difficult to find, excepting unreleased prototypes and that sort of thing. But they do have a P rating also for prototypes. This is a really nice label. I have no idea what an original label looks like, but tooth protectors. And I get to add to my stash of unused Origin. V for Virgin, RA for AtariAge, AA. Anyway, they haven't been used, and I have a ton of these. As I believe I've mentioned in a previous video, they used to send out refrigerator magnets with orders, but they stopped doing that a long time ago, and The few refrigerator magnets I have left are in really rough condition, so I have a lot of these. Generally they send me one for each cartridge I order. Now you get the extras, although I've never seen this before. Apparently they're going to be at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. I know Pack Rat Video Games goes to that, as well as, I believe, Good Deal Games. So that's cool. Remember, I still have one more package to get to, and I won't spend too much time on that because I get one of these with every order, and it doesn't look any different. I will say, however, that I've been seeing a lot of scores come up at highscore.com for the Dizzy games played on the ZX Spectrum, and AtariAge has taken to releasing the Dizzy games on the Atari Jaguar, ported from the Atari ST versions. These are fully licensed from the Oliver Twins and Codemasters, and the proceeds of their profit, their royalties, go to charity. This is the first one they released, and I have it already. Treasure Island Dizzy. I don't have this though. Defender of the Crown. Well, I have Defender of the Crown, but I have it for the NES. It's not quite the same thing. I've shown this before. And I'll show that briefly because it's got my address on it. I'm still looking into getting a post office box because I ran a poll in the community section of my channel. A lot of people seem to like the idea of me having a post office box number so that they can send me letters. So that will be something that is coming. Now, the hardware. Here's where I put it. It's in a resealable baggie. Nothing major. I mean, it's not really expensive. In fact, it's quite affordable. But it is major in that it will really help me with my gaming on the 7800. This is called the Seagull 78 controller adapter by Aladdin. Okay, it looks like this is the end that you plug into the controller port that you're using on the Atari 7800. And then you take your favorite Sega Genesis gamepad, I'm doing really well tonight, and you plug that into that, like so. So now the buttons that are to the left on the Pro Line controller, that function is mapped to button B, and the button on the right of that controller is mapped to button C automatically. And of course the joystick, you would use the D-pad. And as I find the Pro Line controller to live up to its name of Pain Line controller, that will come in handy. Okay, going to end with what I bought on eBay. I don't know if I overpaid for the item itself, but I did overpay on the shipping. I wound up paying almost as much for the shipping as I did for what I purchased. Now, I also had purchased a lot of 4 games for the Atari 2600 from a different seller on eBay. They had free shipping, but then after I had paid, he couldn't find the lot. It had disappeared. So he offered to send me a different lot and 50% off. But I said no thank you, because I wanted the specific games that were in that lot. Believe it or not, with all the clones that I have for Space Invaders, I don't have Space Invaders. All that to get to another package. This is a priority mail. It did come really quickly. But I wouldn't say it was worth the nearly $12 in shipping. Had a cat just dart by. Okay, these are replacements for my no longer existent Atari 2600 paddle controllers. These will work also for paddle control games on the 7800. Now, you'll generally find these are genuine Atari paddle wheel, or paddle controllers, paddle wheel. These have tennis rackets on them, but they also have a racing one, and they're identicals otherwise, and these will work the same as those. And the seller said that there were no glitches or stuttering or anything, and the movement of the paddle wheel does feel smooth. So I am that does not sound promising. It's this one. Nothing about this being a maraca controller. Not only that, it was said to be in brand new condition, but this one, the one that rattles, has some scratches there. I don't know if you can make them out or not. It's not one thing another, it's another. And I need to replace my joysticks, because I only have one joystick controller left, and it barely moves. It has no functionality left in it. Alrighty. So I think that's everything. I was going to record another 16 comics video last night, and I didn't do it, and I was going to record one tonight, and I'm not going to do that either. I'm going to wait until tomorrow night to do that, because I'm just bummed out. I don't feel like it. Alright, big shout out to Patreon supporter. Alex is playing. I believe I misspoke in the last time I shouted it out as Alex is gaming, but it's Alex is playing, I believe. It'll be in the description box, a list of all of my Patreon supporters. I always put that there. I'm trying to give them as many benefits as I can, what I can. Until next time, stay awesome.